and welcome to ABB's Robotics and Automation Summit at the newly expanded ABB headquarters here in the U.S. I'm your host, Taryn Asher, and on behalf of ABB, we are delighted that you could join us for today's event. We are coming to you live from the state-of-the-art robotics manufacturing facility here in Auburn Hills, and which will be officially opening later in the show. Now, over the next hour, I'll be joined by experts from across ABB's expansion and their team as we take a deep dive into how ABB's expansion highlights the current transformation of the U.S. market. We will also be going live to some of the groundbreaking ABB facilities already here in North America, where we'll see firsthand how robotics is helping transform manufacturing in the U.S. Well, now to open today's event, please welcome to the stage the president of robotics and discrete automation, Sami Atiya.
Thank you very much, Taryn, and welcome to our event today. It's a real pleasure to have you all here. A special welcome to Governor Whitmer. It's a real honor to have you here. The Ambassador of Switzerland, Mr. Wittlow, great to have you, and many other dignitaries, and many of our customers. I'm delighted to see so many of you here today. We will have more than 400 of our customers will join us for this event. We are opening our state-of-the-art facility here in North America as the Center for Robotics and Automation. It is really great to have you here with us in this important moment. We have invested millions in the United States. It is our largest global market for ABB, and it's the second largest global market for robotics. And that's why we are happy that we are investing in our state-of-the-art facility. We're opening up a customer experience center, so we welcome all our customers to co-innovate for the United States here. We expanded the facility here by more than 30%. And one thing I'm really proud of is that we will be able to educate and train more than 5,000 American workers here in our facility. And that is just the beginning of bringing high tech into the United States and supporting our customers for more productivity and prosperity. This center here is what we call a hub and spoke. So here in Michigan, we will serve many of our locations that you will hear from later. So we have the smartest engineers sitting here, but also in the locations that we have across the country. The Packaging and Logistics Center in Atlanta that we have inaugurated a couple of years ago. The Lifesciences and Healthcare Hub in Texas Medical, where we're surrounded by the brightest companies who help us innovate in this industry. And then in San Jose in California, where we have our AI center that innovate in all these great topics that make robots more smart and more helpful for our customers. We have been here since 1993. In 2015, we have produced the first robot coming out of a factory in the United States. We are the only manufacturer today who does that. We started and we grow with our automotive customers, and we love to work with our customers in automotive because learn how to be productive, quality, and really innovative. And we have expanded as we went through the industries. Now we serve retail industry, we serve the logistics, even construction industry. We have now multiple projects where we see the need for more sustainable production, as opposed to bringing, all the material to the on-site. You can actually pre-produce houses and manufacture and increase productivity by more than 25%. And in the automotive, obviously, the EV production is a really key part of how we serve the industries. Now, in North America, now we have our hub here that would serve many of the industries. And when you walk around here, I'm very proud of what our colleagues have done. It's really high tech here in the United States and North America. Why is this important? We see mega trends that support the need to drive automation and robotization. And these mega trends have been around for a while and have been accelerated after the COVID pandemic. I mean, all of us want to have our product, our cell, iPhone delivered with a certain color. But the moment you click on that item, I want my cell phone with that color, a huge chain starts in the supply chain. And guess what? I mean, the manufacturer at the end has to be flexible enough to be able to deliver your specific product in one day to you. And that means highest level of flexibility for our customers. AI is all over us at the moment, but we've been driving AI now for more than 10 years in ABB. Uncertainty. Now, we all know that most of the countries are trying to nearshore to bring production home to make ourselves independent. And that's a big trend in the United States as well. But guess what? If you want to be flexible, you have to have robots and automation. Last but not least, labor shortage. It's probably the biggest driver that we see across the globe, but also in the United States. 2 million workers will be open by 2030 in the United States in manufacturing alone. 400,000 welding jobs are not being filled. Now, guess what? If you want to be productive, you have to substitute that by innovation that we're doing, for example, with Lincoln, you see outside here. So all of that is driving more need for flexibility and for ease of use of robots. That's why we are here. We drive that by the broadest portfolio of robots across the industry. We have platform robots, AGVs, we have manipulators, but we combine that on the right side, you see, with the brains and the intelligence of all our people who will support you today. They understand logistics, they understand automotive, food and beverage. We bring all of that together with our unique software. And then what we do is we create a virtual world for our customer where you don't have to touch any physical element. So you can simulate a whole factory just virtually. And when you're done with that, you download the software to the robot and it starts working in automotive, in electronics, and many, many other industries. And that makes us unique at ABB. And you will see today many of these great examples. Now, AI has been around us for decades. I did my PhD on AI 30 years ago, and we in ABB started the research more than a decade ago. What is it about? Insight generation, for example, is you take a lot of data and you generate insights. For example, we can predict when the robot will fail by just observing the data over time. We optimize our existing operations using AI. You'll see an example of what we call spot welding inspection, where the robot sees the spots and learns over time and says, this is a good spot, this is a bad one. And that is using AI. Another one is new skills for robots. I mean, picking an item that the robot has not seen before is something very unique. For us humans, it's simple. We grow up as child and we know how to grab things, but for the robot, AI is needed to be able to do that. And the other one is the example of AMRs, these a platform that you will see outside that navigate freely without any human interaction. And last but not least is human-machine interaction. For me, this is probably the biggest advancement that we will use large language models for. So in the past, we used to learn the language of the robot by programming. In the future, the robot learns our language. So we'll talk to the robot to say, move part A, move it to place Z. And that future is already happening today. I brought you two examples that you will see outside. One is this picking item where we're able to pick 1,400 picks per hour autonomously. So the robot just picks the item that I've never seen them before and learns that it goes. And the other one is the spot welding. It's really key for the industry in automotive. It's 20 times faster, not 20%, 20 times faster than what we had before. And as you see, the robot learns over time. Another great example is what we call Visual Slam. It's a startup company that we bought in Switzerland. It's an example from Michelin, where we give the robot eyes and brains, and the robot goes in a room like this, looks a little bit around, and then starts to understand where it is and start navigating. If you bring another robot in another area, both robots will complement each other and then understand where they are. And at the end, they create a map of the whole manufacturing area. It's faster, it's more resilient, it is more accurate, than what we have ever seen before, and it's unique in the market. And we have many great customers here in the US, including Ford, where we are working to make this a great solution for us. And last but not least, this is an example of a robot that
Place all the blocks
gets
from table 1 to the cart.
instructions from a human being, and it's running already. You can talk to the robot, talk about blocks as opposed to teaching
Move all
it
the
exactly.
blocks from the cart to table 2.
Robots moves around.
Place the red block in the middle of table 2. Rearrange all the blocks on the table.
So this is a great example of how robotics will change the future. I mean, think of what this means for small and medium-sized enterprises. Now, in our large customer bases, we have lots of smart PhDs and people who program. But medium-sized companies, even bakeries we have already as customers, they want to have a simple, easy-to-use application. So think about the advancement of just talking to a robot instead of programming, or maybe just watching the robot while doing a welding, which is able to do today, or just taking the arm of the robot and showing 3 positions, and the robot just replicates what you have. It makes the accessibility for technology really much easier. So, very exciting topics we are bringing here to the United States, here in Michigan. We appreciate the support that we are getting. I'm very excited that all our employees here, that we're welcoming you today. And now I would like to hand over a special welcome to Governor Whitmer. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here with all of you. As soon as I stood up, this mic started to move on me. All right. Well, hello to ABB Robotics. This has been an awesome opportunity for the state of Michigan and for me to come in and see some of the great work that's happening here. I'm excited to be here to talk about how this facility is going to help us, the state of Michigan, lead in the future of advanced manufacturing. So I want to thank Sammy and your whole team here at ABB. I want to thank the ambassador for coming to Michigan. I am proud that the state of Michigan was able to support this $20 million expansion, creating 72 jobs with a performance-based grant. With partners like ABB, we're growing our economy. We're bringing more jobs and projects home, and we're staying on the cutting edge of growing industries. ABB's work here in Oakland County will have really incredible range of benefits to us all, to the customers, to us in Michigan, but to this country. These products help customers get things done faster and more efficiently. Around the world, ABB's robots support the production of electric vehicles, medical devices, electronics, even pastries. It's not a typo, even pastries, food. So today's expansion will help us tighten the supply chain, cut down on production delays, and allow ABB to better serve their customers. To be specific, more than 90% of the robots that ABB delivers to North and South America will come from right here in Auburn Hills, Michigan. And so I'm so grateful to ABB for doubling down on this community too. By expanding their presence in Auburn Hills, they will be deepening their ties to local institutions and to their employees. ABB already utilizes Michigan talent and Michigan workers. They use Michigan Works and reaching our local talent. And they work closely with Oakland University, who, congratulations to the Golden Grizzlies, are now in the tournament. They offer, that was not in my remarks, I just saw that in the news, it's very exciting. They offer on-site and online training for everyone from engineers to programmers and all sorts of different career tracks. ABB's commitment to investing in locally here improves talent attraction, retention, and development. And it means bigger paychecks and more skills for Michiganders and brighter futures for their families. On our tour, they made a point of sharing with me that as companies make these investments, their workforces grow, which is counterintuitive when people think about automation and robotics. They think it's replacing people. In fact, it's actually job security. So to ensure that Michigan keeps winning on projects like this one, we need to keep our foot on the accelerator with economic development. We've got strong economic development tools here in Michigan that we established years ago, but we need more. We need to continue to compete and win. In my State of the State address in January, I outlined 4 new economic development tools that I want to make sure are a part of Michigan's arsenal. An R&D tax credit to encourage investment in emerging technologies and build on the strength as a hub of talent. Hire Michigan, which is a payroll tax cut for business. The logic behind it is simple. The more you invest here in Michigan, the more you should be able to save. And a simplified Renaissance zone policy to drive investments into regions across our state that have been underinvested in for too long. And finally, an innovation fund to power high-growth startups who will build the future of Michigan while creating thousands of good-paying jobs. We see a lot of this work happening right here today, and together we're going to keep building our advanced manufacturing sector and bringing supply chains home. We've become less reliant on foreign parts, reducing work stoppages and shortages and car price hikes. And we'll also reduce the time and travel necessary to make complex products, consuming less energy and saving more money. So together we're building the future that we want, one where Michigan leads. So I want to thank you all for your time and your incredible investment here in Michigan. I want to thank ABB on showing the world what's possible and doing it right here from Auburn Hills. And I want to thank all of you and our partners to make sure that Michigan continues to be successful, because when the people of Michigan are successful, the state of Michigan is. Congratulations, ABB. Thank you for your partnership, and here's to many, many more years of success. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor. Thank you, Sammy. So fascinating, filling the gaps of the workforce, and then, of course, moving us forward into the future. Automation, supporting the future of U.S. manufacturing, and that's why we're here today. And to tell us more about how AI, artificial intelligence, is enabling business of all sizes to operate more sustainably and efficiently, we're going to head over to ABB's San Jose AI Research and Development Lab, where Principal Engineer Thomas Wing and Global R&D Manager Diane Dandai are waiting to tell us more. And Diane, tell us how it's going in San Jose this morning.
It's going great, thank you. We are very excited to welcome you all to ABB Robotics AI Lab here in San Jose. The mission of our lab is to advance AI-enabled robotic solution to the market with focus on AI vision and digitalization.
Thanks, Dan. Should we take a look around? AI is not new to ABB. There are many examples of AI applications already working today, such as the robotic item picker behind me. And this is a function package that designed to support automated order picking and sorter induction operations. And the system is powered with AI, and it allows the robot to learn and adapt to a wide variety of items. It can reach up to 1,400 picks per hour and working for 24/7. And today, this solution is helping in busy warehouses and fulfillment centers. Right now, we have more than 100 AI projects in development. And the AI applications will take robotics to next level in 3 major areas. First, AI technology will enhance the human-machine interaction by making the robots more accessible without needing for specialist programming. And second, machine learning, reinforcement learning, and deep learning will broaden the robotics capability. And third, AI-driven data analysis will enable the generation of meaningful insights by studying a large amount of operational data efficiently and quickly. This is the same for companies no matter the size, especially for small and medium-sized enterprises. These are the businesses that might not have thought about automation before. But now, with our smart use of AI, they can cost-efficiently get access to robotics. The ease of operation is the key. Already today, our customer can program our robot with the Wizard EV programming. This graphic programming interface is very intuitive. It allows the user to drag and drop the pre-installed coding blocks. The generative AI will bring the ease of use to the next level. For instance, it could enable the robot to comprehend natural language so that we can directly tell the robot what to do. Or the robot can learn through observation. And soon, robots will learn our language instead of us needing to learn their language. Tech education and openness to technology are the key requirements for successful AI integration. Adequate training and upskilling programs are essential to be ready for the new roles that AI will create. For example, Steven is working on a generative AI demo. It literally draws and creates anything that you can think of. And today, to celebrate the grand opening of our Auburn Hills new factory, let's have some fireworks, gift boxes, and an ABB flag.
So, there you have it. AI will truly revolutionize the world of automation. And our team in San Jose is working on a huge range of cutting-edge applications that will benefit our customer in months and years to come. Thank you, and back to studio.
Thank you, Thomas and Diane. It's great to see so many exciting possibilities that AI already brings to the robotics market. And now to truly unlock AI's true potential, ABB has focused on a diverse portfolio of robotics. And to tell us more, though, we want to welcome the president of ABB's robotic division, Mark Segura.
Good morning, everyone, dear customers, dear colleagues. So it's a great day for us. Again, thanks for being here. So continuing a bit where the teams left it, I want to talk a bit about this facility and what we aim to produce and support you with. This is our 50th anniversary. In 1974, ABB put in the market what is understood to be an industrial robot today, the first all-electrical computer control robot. That was 1974. And we start here in the US very, very early on in the 80s, and we settled here in Auburn Hills in this building 1993. We were born and grown in automotive, and we learned a lot of great stuff there. And we're thrilling still today supporting this transition to more sustainable transport. But throughout the years, the learnings we got there help us create value for other industries. We moved into electronics to help expand consumer electronics goods. We went into food and beverage, later on into logistics. Today, we're pioneering in life sciences and healthcare. So we're broadening our expertise. We're supporting more and more customers, and hence, we needed to retrofit and be up to date with our ambitions here in the US. So this is where we are today. We are here inaugurating our refitted building. A refitted building, you will see some of the images you will have the chance to see later. We've really focused investment across all the chain here, because here in the US, we have sales, we have engineering, we have project management, we have R&D, we have a factory, we have customer service rebuilt. We have strengthened all this with technology. We have digitalized further the site. We have really focused on collaborative spaces to enhance collaboration and creativity, but not only inside, especially externally with you. You've seen the Customer Experience Center. That's not a showroom. Showroom will be us working there hand in hand, creating the new applications you need to offer to your customers to solve your production challenges. We've invested in the training center because people is at the core of the value creation. So we can now train up to 5,000 people. People and technology, that's what I hope you feel in these walls with this upgrade that we had. So a couple of areas, again, I want to stress. You will see the Customer Experience Center and how we are enhancing our production. Again, collaboration has always been one of the hallmarks of ABB. Our culture is not about pushing products out. It's about listening with you and defining together. And as technology accelerates, this becomes more and more important because we're going into new segments, we require new applications, and we need to leverage more experts. So we're here a player to work with you in this collaborative space, and we walk the talk and we invest on spaces to produce that. The other side of this facility is that we are still today the only major robotic company that produces robots in the US. And there's a big reason for that, is the responsiveness to your needs, to be faster, to be able to customize, to be able to control fully quality here near. We have invested in a root cause analysis center, so cutting the time when there is an issue to have to go back to R&D, in this case in Sweden, from weeks now to days, because everything is done here. So we are more and more self-sufficient to respond faster and better to this dynamic market. At the same time, we need to be flexible ourselves. So we practice what we preach. So you will see a number of autonomous mobile robots circulating around our facility, from the inbound, from the kitting zone to the assembly cells, and from the assembly cells to final test, so we can adapt the flexibility. We need to produce more, you tune up the AMRs a bit faster. You need to have a different process, you route them differently. This flexibility that we know you need, given the uncertainty, we're also, of course, leveraging ourselves. Another important aspect here, you're gonna see the videos later, is on the AMR, the technology. You know, our motivation to step into mobile robotics is, again, coming from you, coming from listening to the customers, because otherwise, what would we do it? That might have seemed a bit distant from, let's say, arms. The reason is that, once again, the biggest thing that is changing, I think, to stay in the world is speed of change and certainty of change. You don't know if you need to make a car, how many cars you will have to do of this model or this model or this model. If you are in consumer goods, you don't know if the e-commerce channel is going to be larger than the traditional distribution channel. And all these things happen in real time, but your factory is hardware. So how you adapt to that, we really came to a conclusion. We need to offer you a new architecture, a new paradigm, how you design factories, how you design warehouses, where AMRs will be able to work with robots hand in hand to create these new solutions. So our portfolio is growing. It is the largest and most powerful portfolio in robotics. We have robots, we have robots from the very small 1010 or SCARAs to small size, middle size, large size. We have Delta robots, we have collaborative robots, we have autonomous mobile robots, we're developing autonomous mobile manipulators. All that cope together with our domain expertise, where we together with you create function packages for welding, for packaging, where we are again putting together our and your domain expertise with the base technology to create unique features. And more importantly, and ever growing, the software layer, software tools. With the launch of OmniCore later on this year, of the completion of the launch of new controller, we will be really putting into the market the broadest functionality at robot level and at simulation level and at AMR fleet level to be able to intentionally give you all these possibilities, all these avenues to create, put your and your team's ingenuity to create the next paradigm of factories. Real-time responsive factories that make you resilient, but also have the opportunity to win on this very uncertain fast world. If you don't do that, if we don't do that, we'll become too rigid, too sclerotic, too slow, too expensive to adapt to win the opportunities out there. This architecture is our proposal for us to build this new type of flexible automation. And finally, what you will see again on the AMRs, you've seen the previous video from Sami, is talking about our bet on technology. On the AMRs, you've heard about the Visual Slam, you heard about how we use AI to map, you heard the San Jose team talking about using that for picking. I mean, AI, of course, is very important, but we're investing in the next mechatronics platform. We're investing in material science. We're investing in power electronics. We really have lined up all the competencies with partners, with startups, with universities to really drive technology into our portfolio at the highest possible speed. With that, the outcome is what we are more proud about. The outcome is that our mission is to elevate work, to make you and your companies more successful and sustainable. And that's really where we see ourselves when our robots are helping retool a factory to be successful with a new product, tackle some labor shortage in a company that would otherwise be struggling, when we help a customer open a new channel for distribution in a timely manner. All these things are making companies more successful, and as a consequence of that, we create better and elevate the work, so also our companies, our colleagues, the society can continue to advance the progress. We feel proud to contribute to that. That's ultimately our vision, where we come to work every day. So with that, I finish here, and I again welcome you very much.
Thanks, Mark. So interesting, fascinating. All right, and it's of course great to hear about how ABB's robotic portfolio is transforming the working lives of people really around the country. And to see this in practice, we are now heading over to ABB's Life Sciences and Healthcare Hub at the Texas Medical Center in Houston, where robotics project manager Alex Riley is ready to show us exactly how automation is helping streamline the healthcare industry. And Alex, over to you.
Thanks, Taryn. I'm at the Texas Medical Center in Houston, joined by Dr. Chris Zahner, the Clinical Pathologist Medical Director at the University of Texas Medical Branch, or UTMB. Thanks for joining us, Chris.
Thanks, Alex. It's a pleasure.
So tell me, what are the benefits of robotics and automation in the medical environment?
One of the obvious things that people would say is that maybe you'd have an improved turnaround time. And while that's true, it's really the consistent turnaround time that we think is the most important. The second thing that's really important, obviously, is with robotics, there's 24/7 support, so it's always working. And the third thing is there's, sort of a better quality of life, because a lot of the monotonous, drudgery kind of tasks are handed off to the robots.
So how has UTMB leveraged their corporate partnership with ABB to improve the UTMB hospital system?
What's cool about this partnership from our perspective is we bring in the best and brightest engineers in the world, and they develop products that are specifically attuned to our use case. It's phenomenal for us, and it's great for ABB because ABB doesn't get a chance to do that everywhere, right? A lot of hospitals stop at that.
And how does UTMB see the long-term benefits of robotics and automation?
The support that ABB has given UTMB has made it something that automation is far easier for us to implement. And we also have this service relationship that I think is really benefiting both UTMB as well as ABB.
Thank you. This has been very interesting. Now, I know our friends at the BOTES lab at Texas Children's Neurological Research Institute have had a similar experience as they've integrated a dual-arm Yumi within their lab. My colleague Miller has popped by to see them. Miller, what can you tell us?
Thanks a lot, Alex. Robotic automation really does offer transformative possibility in healthcare. As such, we're joined here at TMC by Dr. Botes and Dr. Ismail. Thanks for joining us.
It's our pleasure to be here, Miller.
Pleasure to be here.
We're already seeing how aging population increase healthcare demands on a system stretched due to labor shortages. How's robotics helping solve some of these issues around bottlenecks, diagnosis, and drug developments and treatments?
It helps us in several ways. One is alleviating the labor shortages. The second one is to allowing researchers and investigators to do other tasks that are not repetitive. And third is by increasing the high throughput manner in which we can do research on brain disorders.
As we enter the genomics era, we're finding out that actually hundreds of genes are risk factors for these neurodegenerative diseases. So the only way that we can ascertain that these genes play a role in disease and we can pursue them as therapeutic targets is by the use of robotics.
Dr. Botes, can you tell us a little bit about some of the key benefits of the robotics in the Botes lab?
Yes, we do research on disorders of the brain, like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, or Huntington's disease. And to investigate these disorders and to find therapeutic avenues, we use the mini brain as a model system, the mini brain of Drosophila. And the dual-arm Yumi robot allows us to do high-throughput experimentation that is required to find therapeutic avenues.
And how is Yumi the right automation for the Botes lab?
So doing experimentation with Drosophila requires us to perform very intricate tasks like transfer Drosophila from vial to vial, cap and uncap. And this has proven to be really challenging for automation. What the Life Sciences and Healthcare team at ABB has been able to do with the dual-arm Yumi is to actually imitate every movement we do. So you can actually cap and place the vials back into cardboard racks with one arm, while at the same time scanning a different vial, having it tagged, and actually providing several trays to be worked on.
Thank you, Dr. Botes. Dr. Ismail. So as you can see here at TMC, collaborative robots and flexible automation from ABB is improving and accelerating the U.S. healthcare system, navigate through challenges seen today and in the future. That's it from TMC. Back to you in Auburn Hills.
Thank you, Miller. It is interesting to see how automation is really supporting the healthcare sector across the U.S. I mean, truth be told, it feels like we're at a time, when you were growing up, did you ever remember the Jetsons? It feels like we're living in that moment when you watch how these robots are just everywhere and really moving us forward. But as I mentioned earlier, we are coming to you live from the newly expanded ABB Robotics U.S. headquarters and manufacturing facility here in Michigan. And to tell us more about this facility and the significance of its location, please welcome U.S. country leader of ABB Robotics, John Bubnikovich.
Thank you. I'm going to talk about the expansion highlights and the transformation occurring in the U.S. But first, I want to take the time to give some thanks. I'm going to start with Sammy and Mark. Sammy, Mark, thank you for the trust in the team. We wouldn't be here today without you. Next, I'd like to thank the governor's office for attending, Ambassador Pete Liu, Quentin Messer. We appreciate the grant very much so. CEO, Michigan Economic Development Corporation, and of course, other dignitaries for being here today, the support from your administration, the state of Michigan, and the city of Auburn Hills. Of course, our customers and partners, this is for you. We want to appreciate, I want to take the time to show my appreciation for you taking the time out of your schedules to be here today. This is all about how we work better together. Next, I want to talk about the investment. ABB's expanded investment in the U.S. and Michigan is just a continuation of our commitment. It's a reflection of its uniquely talented workforce here in Michigan, with manufacturing and automation skills unmatched anywhere in the country. This most recent investment of $30 million since 2019 is because of the belief and the promise of the U.S. growing robotics market. Now, although ABB global headquarters is located in Europe, we know that to truly be successful in the U.S., you need to be close to your customers. We began operations in this building in 1993, as Sammy and Mark talked about. First opened up manufacturing in 2015. 2016, first robot rolled off the line with a controller. It's painted red, white, and blue. You'll see a picture of it in our customer center. Now, when we did that, we were the first major robotics company globally to be manufacturing in the US, and we still are today. We're proud of our history and to be able to further industrial leadership here in the US. I'd like to show a little video. This really embodies the vision of transforming the industry through sustainable and efficient solutions and bolstering American manufacturing. The Customer Experience Center is a representation, a true representation of a market leader in robotics. It gives us a platform to showcase our technology and our capabilities, but also the ability to develop robots and automation solutions for unique markets, operational, and business needs. Now, part of the commitment is an expanded training facility. This will enable us to train more American workers, enhance and expand training capability, closes the robotics education gap. It widens the talent pool to meet growing demand that we see, upskilling the workforce to support businesses across the country and the region. This is also going to be utilized and will benefit our own workforce, but the value to our customers and partners will be substantial. I'd like to show another video here and talk about the factory enhancements. So the factory enhancements will provide production capabilities and better control of quality. It increases our responsiveness to customers. A great example Mark touched on is the RCA Center. We went from turnaround times and responding where we have field service failures from months to weeks to days, which is a huge value to our customers and our partners in the market. We're able to integrate and diagnose root cause problems, build them into our manufacturing processes, and take corrective actions. And again, all of this for our customers and our partners. Now, we look forward to hosting our partners and our customers for years to come here. It gives us an opportunity to co-develop, discover ways to leverage the next generation of robotics to meet specific organizational needs. And all of us at ABB are very excited for the opportunity for enhanced production, collaborative innovation in our Customer Experience Center, increased responsiveness from our customer service team. That's all now achievable through our US headquarters. We can't wait for you to take a look around today. And again, thank you all for joining us.
Thank you, John, for that incredibly informative presentation. And our final stop today is over to Atlanta, and that's home to ABB's Packaging and Logistics Hub, where the president of ABB's U.S. Machine Automation Division, Patrick McDermott, is on hand to tell us more about the increasing role of robotics in logistics. And Patrick, over to you.
Thank you, Auburn Hills. It's great to join you here from our ABB Robotics facility in Alpharetta. We opened just last year. This state-of-the-art facility is very close to Atlanta, which happens to be home to some of the world's largest packaging and logistics companies. These sectors continue to be driven by major market trends, including e-commerce and the reshoring of supply chain. This is driving the need for more dedicated support and expertise with our customers, and that's why we're here. Yesterday, I had the chance to catch up with Scott Seidel, VP of Sales and Marketing for ABB here in the U.S. Scott, thanks for joining me.
Sure, Patrick, my pleasure.
So, can you tell me why, from your perspective, is robotics becoming such a strong play in logistics today?
Well, I think the growth in e-commerce is driving a demand we haven't seen before. The growth is expected to eclipse 50% over the next 3 years, making more than $1.5 billion in revenues. So there's a real shortage of labor to fill the need in those areas. And this facility is going to develop new technologies to address the needs here in the US and globally.
What sort of technology can do that?
This requires the fusion of robotics and AI to be able to recognize and sort random objects. For example, with the Flex Packer behind us, technologies like this can make more than 1,400 picks per hour in a fast-moving logistics or warehouse environment.
So, what is the effect of reshoring?
Reshoring is actually a very significant trend in the marketplace right now. And the Inflation Reduction Act has been a big catalyst for that. More than a third of companies in the United States are looking at bringing operations back to North America. And in a restricted labor market, there's an unprecedented demand for robotics to help these companies relocate operations here to the United States.
And what are the other factors driving the automation growth today?
Well, consumers are demanding more choice and personalization. Another factor that's top of mind for consumers is sustainability. And this is prompting companies to reconsider their processes, especially the sustainability of their supply chain operations. The effect of these trends is significant, with the global logistics automation market expected to grow to $51 billion by 2028, with the US being the largest market.
A lot of ABB factories have mobile robots too now. What can you tell us about this technology?
Well, the autonomous mobile robots, or we refer to them as AMRs quite often, are the next wave of robotic automation. They use AI and 3D vision to navigate manufacturing environments autonomously. Additionally, this technology reduces the commissioning time by up to 20% for customers, reducing the need for calibration and changes to infrastructure.
How do you see the market for the autonomous mobile robots progressing the next few years?
AMRs are growing quite significantly and expected to eclipse $1 billion within the next 3 years.
Wow. That's certainly an exciting market.
Yeah.
But hey, thanks for joining me today, Scott.
Thanks for having me, Patrick.
So, as you can see from yesterday, here in our Atlanta facility, we're very proud that ABB is helping companies embrace automation and AI, enabling them to be more innovative, efficient, and productive.
Thank you, Patrick. It was. All right, so now we've heard from ABB's facilities here in the U.S., and now it's time to hear from you as I invite Mark Segura and John Bubnikovich and Sammy Attia back to the stage. And we're going to answer some questions around robotics and automation, your questions as you settle in here. Now, if you are watching live on LinkedIn, please drop your questions in the chat and we'll do our best to get them answered. And for those of you in the room, please raise your hand when you have a question. We'll be sure to come to you with a microphone and then get to your question. But I'll kick things off with a few questions of my own using something I can recognize here, an iPad. But we'll start with you, Sammy. What companies, and a little bit of it was discussed today, what companies, though, can benefit in industries from AI-enabled robotics? And what do you think the real potential is for industrial AI?
Well, as I said, we've been developing AI technologies now for almost a decade. Our philosophy is we come from the customer needs. If there's a customer need and a technology match, then we are in the game. Mm-hmm. So take the example of productivity and quality. That's an area where all of our customers want to increase. And the example of the spot welding to get 20 times faster, in terms of really detecting anomalies. That's a big deal, and it's available now for automotive. So we have it in our product. But also all the notion of making things simpler and easier to use is a big topic for our customers. As I mentioned before, you don't want to have engineers sitting there and just doing programming of robots. Making them easier and more accessible for the workers is a big deal. So when we have our collaborative robots that are like the example we have with Lincoln, a welding robot, that you can just teach by the robot either watching or by taking the points and doing them, and the robot repeats. And in the future with AI, we'll just talk to the robot and say, do this and do that. And the robot will find a translation using these, what they call large language models. We all use them in ChatGPT, but they have a use in AI and industrial as well. So I don't think there is a place where we will not see AI getting into and helping our customers to get more productive and better quality.
That's great. Efficiently as well. So it's great to hear. And Mark, what about you? Can you elaborate, though, on the hub and the spoke footprint in the U.S.?
Yeah, that's again a response to how the market develops. As I said, we started in automotive, we grew up, and we're probably here driving with the electrical vehicle transformation. But as we witnessed that, we're a part of it. We're again listening to the needs of other sectors. And as we always done in ABB, our philosophy, we need to first understand the customer needs. We need to build that domain expertise. And that domain expertise, it happens where it happens. When we decided to learn about hospitals and life science, we were looking around and we found Houston was the largest medical city in the world, so we settled there. When we were deciding to, experiment in AI, we settled in the Valley in California. When we look at where are the bigger distribution retail companies, we found in Atlanta you've got Home Depot, UPS, Coca-Cola, and there's a pool of talent. Mm-hmm. That being said, you need a strong home, a pillar that is giving service to all these ever-growing segments, and that is here in Auburn Hills in Michigan. So the hub is here, we're strengthening it, and we are creating all these satellites to be there where knowledge is built, to be developing with the customers these new applications, because robotics, again, is broadening and growing.
It is exciting right here in the Motor City, so thank you. And also, John, you announced that the complete refit of the facility. What drove that and the benefits for U.S. customers?
Yeah, so when we looked at the investment here, and what drove that was really two things. One was the ability to serve our customers in a more intimate way. And the second thing was the belief of the continuation of growth in the robotics and automation space. Now, the benefit to customers will be substantial. When you look at it, there's really three things that I'd like to mention. One is the ability to collaborate on innovation through our Customer Experience Center. The second thing is flexible production and responsiveness from our factory. Mark, we talked about the RCA Center, but also the ability to change production timelines. If customers have a need, they know they call us, we'll do what we can to get them the product a lot quicker. It's not coming over on a boat or an airplane. And then the third thing is our expanded education and training. This is really an opportunity for us to educate our own workforce, but provide a platform for our customers to take full advantage of and get their team trained on basic programming all the way through advanced applications.
All right. Now we're going to open up to the room and see if there are any questions that you have for our three members of our panel, our experts here today. Any questions from the audience? Raise your hand. If so, we'll be sure to get a microphone to you. Going once. All right. Well, oh, there we go, ma'am. There we go.
Hi, good morning. Congratulations for the expansion, and it's been a wonderful presentation so far. My name is Leslie Emmert-Buck. I am an ophthalmologist in town, and I'm also on the board of directors of the Auburn Hills Chamber of Commerce. And so I have two roles. As an ophthalmologist, I'm always thinking of ways to automate things in my practice. So my first question is, how small is your smallest customer? If someone has an idea in the community, is there a process to approach ABB with an idea? That's number one. And number two is, as my role on the board of the chamber, if I hear of anyone else in the chamber, how do I direct them to you if they have an idea?
Maybe the first question.
On the first question, I mean, there's no smaller customer to us. And yes, we have many customers who have very, very small yet interesting companies. And but as we said, what we're really trying to care to support these customers is two things. First is the product and the technology itself, enabling this easy programming, wizard type of guided through programming. But the second one is also to enlarge our network of support. And that we don't do it alone. We do with many of the people here in the room, our dear partner system integrators, distributors that are our, let's say, our network of coverage of the territory. They add the presence, they add the value add, the domain expertise. So together, us and our dear partners, we want to support and cover more and more customers. And for the second question,
yeah, it's a great question. So when we look at the Customer Experience Center, it's something that can help educate the community on how to apply robotics in certain applications and situations. It's not, of course, broad enough to where it covers every single one, but it is a great location and platform where you can bring the community through and explain how robots can be applied. So as far as getting in contact with us and scheduling a tour, that can be done through the front desk. I know you have some contacts with Kevin Miskowski. Kevin's been integral in the Chamber of Commerce. So I would just say, just reach out to someone at ABB. The way we look at it is everyone in this organization should be able to tell our story, explain our technology, and anyone can give you a tour through the Customer Experience Center.
Maybe in terms of size, we have customers, we have bakeries as a customer. We have Ayumi rolling sushi. So we have all kinds of things. I mean, what we typically do is we go to a customer, then we look, and then we support the business case. That's ultimately what it is about. Is, I want to improve productivity. There's an area here that looks like it needs automation. We would do the case for the customer, and then we would come up with an idea how to actually approach it. We use the visual, this visual tool that you simulate, for example, a line. What would it look like if you put a robot in there? And the customer can just play a little bit around and say, I need the cycle time to improve and maybe quality improve. And you do that all virtually. We show it. And then if you like it, you can just implement the robot. So with all these high tech, you have actually less risk of implementing robotics than it used to be in the past.
All right.
Thanks, Leslie.
Exciting. Thank you, Sammy. We have a question from LinkedIn, one of our viewers watching the streaming online. That question is, how does one arrange a visit to the Customer Experience Center?
Yeah, another question on the customer experience center. So I would reach out to anyone at ABB. As I talked about, everyone at ABB in this building is a brand ambassador and can take you through the Customer Experience Center. So you can reach out to anyone employed at ABB at this building or in this facility, and they'll be able to give you a tour of the Customer Experience Center and direct you to the right person within the organization to fulfill any other needs or requirements that you have.
You've seen the applications we have now set up, okay? You've seen welding, we've seen 3D printing, we have the digital corner where we can experiment, Robot Studio. You've seen AMRs here and in the big shop floor you'll see. But also, this is intended to be a dynamic space for you. I mean, we have a pipeline now of PhD candidates that are going to sit down here for 6 months working on to try to solve a problem. You've got many problems. This space is for you. We will set up a corner. If it's about software, digitalization, more software, we'll do it here in the front. If you need the industrial space, as you know, we'll do it. We'll tour afterwards. We have the big robots, the big space to do more the large endurance tests. So you've got both, and we're here to serve you and co-create. All the success we have, all the things we show here is not the product of a single person, it's a team effort.
Okay, that's great to hear. Any other questions from the crowd? All right, so we have a mic over there on the...
Thank you. Man, so I am blown away, personally, what's going on here. It's very encouraging. But here's my question, it's feasibility. When you look at robotics, it's easy to see how that applies on an industrial scale. But as it applies to, say, Main Street mom and pop, in my mind I'm thinking, despite these machines being able to do it better, faster, there's a part of me that's also telling me there's probably, at a simple scale, old-fashioned manual labor is still the more cost-effective way to go. So I'm thinking, where's the intersection where this would be an attractive play for a mom-and-pop local business? That's the question that keeps, because in my mind, I'm John Sanchez, I own a CPA firm here in town, and I'm thinking of a half a dozen clients, and I'm thinking, this could help them, but does it make sense economically? That's kind of where I'm thinking.
This is a very, very important thing for us to make that more and more possible. But it's also very important what's the driver behind that need, okay? If you talk about some of these small companies and you will go there, I mean, would you have a business case of increasing productivity by X? Sometimes that's not their challenge. Their challenge is more labor shortage. I would have an order, but I cannot put a second shift on because I don't have people to run for it. Or, I mean, I want to secure quality because, I mean, I have a messy process. So first, the driver behind is very process, but ultimately, it's the total cost of ownership and operation that matters. So we are really striving to make, first, the cost of integrating the robot less. So we have collaborative robots that lower, I mean, the cost of the infrastructure on fences and so on. We have an ecosystem program where we're building prefabricated kits with the partners of end effector or process equipment, so it's a do-it-yourself kit, so you don't have to worry to configure the hardware and so on. We put that in the digital marketplace. So we make things easy, finally, on the programming and commissioning. So all that is, on one hand, lowering the cost and the bottleneck of expertise, but it's lowering the total cost. The cost of integrated, the cost of commissioning, the cost of maintaining. That now more and more is going to match these use cases on the SMEs. But they are from different nature, and we need to really tackle all these pain points.
Great question and great answer. Thank you so much, Mark, John, and Sammy, for joining us and offering your insight in the world of robotics and automation. But now it is time to officially open this newly expanded ABB Robotics U.S. headquarters and manufacturing facility. And Sammy, Mark, John, please join me for the official ribbon cutting ceremony. And to begin, we're going to welcome here our special guest. Look at this. See, just like the Jetsons. The official systems.
Here we go. Now I'd like to personally welcome you to our expanded ABB U.S. headquarters and manufacturing facility.
exciting. And now that is really all the time, though, that we have for today in ABB's newly expanded U.S. headquarters and manufacturing facility in Auburn Hills, Michigan. Thanks to all of you, our special guests here today, Sammy Attia, Mark Segura, and John Bubnikovich. And of course, we want to thank Governor Gretchen Whitmer, who had to leave, but she was here making the time for us today. And then all of our visitors from Houston, Atlanta, and San Jose. And a special thanks to all of you who joined us live, both here in the room and, of course, on LinkedIn. And I hope today's event helped educate and inform all of you about the future of robotics and automation in the U.S. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.